Fan. It's tough to believe. It really is. On this, the 11th day of July, that in Los Angeles, the Chargers, their rookies, report tomorrow. Think about that. The NFL officially underway, at least in Los Angeles. Jaguar fans, it'll be 1 week from Saturday. July 19th, the date, and Jaguar rookies will report a couple of days later. The veterans will. And then on a Wednesday, July 23rd, right there at the Miller Electric Center. Day one, training camp, 2025. So I got to get out of here. I do. I got to just do some things and, collect my thoughts because I think this is truly going to be one of the most exciting football seasons around here that we've had in a very long period of time. And the reason why is you could be a Hollywood writer, director, producer, whatever it is. And anything that you would write about Jacksonville is believable. Anything you write about Florida State is believable. Anything you write about Florida is believable. I think to a lesser extent, Georgia and Miami, I think we kind of have a good idea as to where they're headed. I think Miami realistically finishes second in the Atlantic Coast Conference. They don't get Clemson. That's a miss right there by the schedule makers. We would have liked to have seen that game in the regular season. And, for Georgia, so much talent. The question simply is, Gunnar Stockton, is he able to take over with Carson Beck now at the U? But you look at that brutal schedule for Florida, and again, it could go either way. Look what happened a year ago with Florida. Out of the gate, blown out by Miami. You gave up on Billy Napier. The thing that I admired so much about the Gator players, they played hard, even when they were losing, even when they were getting blown out. And then you turned it around. You got the vote of confidence from Scott Strickland, the athletic director, and then we all know what happened, beginning with Mississippi and playing hard and getting big wins at the end of the year. And, when the official preseason rankings come out, I think Florida's a top 15 team. I think Florida's a top 12 team. Again, another brutal schedule. No question about that for Florida. Florida State, who knows? I mean, I just don't even know where to begin with Florida State. I'm looking at 4 transfers who are redshirt seniors who are projected to start on the offensive line. How can that OL be that bad for that period, that period of time? Well, the same thing's happening here with the Jaguars. How can that Jaguars offensive line be just bad and soft year after year after year? Mike Norvell brought in a ton of new guys. James Gladstone, Tony Baselli, Liam Cohen brought in 6 new offensive linemen. But when you get down to it, it's still going to come to that for the Jaguars. You've got to take Trevor Lawrence to that next level, right? Is he going to be able to get to that next level? I would hope so with the additions that they have made. 6 on the offensive line, 2 new running backs, 3 new tight ends, 2 new wide receivers. The effort is there. Is the personnel there? How productive are they? How much is Liam Cohen, coaching-wise, going to be able to turn things around? The Jaguars have been hideous offensively, especially you can go through the last 100 games. 14 touchdown drives when they got the football to begin the game out of 100. Last year, they took it to 18 consecutive games. It had to be 19 until they finally scored on their opening possession against the New York Jets. Liam Cohen last year in Tampa Bay, 8 touchdown drives to begin games. 8 out of 17. I mean, Jacksonville's seen 14 out of their last 100. Okay, you look at all the numbers, everything Liam Cohen did, including changing his blocking philosophy once pads went on, late in the month of July. It feels good. certainly does sound good. And, I want to see it for you. I want to see it for the fans. I want you people to be happy. So, this year's training camp is going to be absolutely spectacular. More speed than we've ever seen, ever. Okay, I'm not talking about 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20. I'm talking ever. This is the most speed I've ever seen at wide receiver. And you put Tootin in there, wow. I mean, that's arguably the fastest team in pro football. So you got all that to look ahead at, and this will be it for me. I get out of here tomorrow morning, and I take my last vacation, and then that's it. I won't take a day off until after the Super Bowl. I've always done it this way. I don't need a rest during football season. I don't want to take time off during football season. There's just too much that is going on. Granted, there's always something going on in sports. And yes, you can make the point that this time of year in a town like Jacksonville, that is a one-horse town, you have to work a little bit harder, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm always able to find what I think are interesting things to discuss. And, of course, no one is more interactive with the listeners than we are right here on Into the Night. Best way for you to join us, 641-1010. Text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Welcome those watching us on YouTube. Just go to 1010XL Into the Night, and you can get us as well on Twitter. Go to 1010XL or hit me up at Ballou 1010XL. All right. John Shipley of Jaguars Wire and with Sports Illustrated is coming up here in about 15 minutes or so. We're going to get final thoughts from Ship before camp does break. Yeah, I was just on Trevor a little bit, and it feels like the national media is really going after him, right? I read a story earlier this week in Athlon Sports, which I do think is sneaky good. It's a good entity. To me, Athlon Sports, when I think of it, has always been a college football product. And I think they've been a little bit underrated over the decades, but every once in a while I find some really good material there. Most of it is college related. But this one was about Trevor Lawrence. And they came out and said the generational hype that was literally, thrown at you. As a matter of fact, it was jammed down your throat. Myself included, hopped on that particular way of thinking. But, we were force-fed this. It's the greatest quarterback since Andrew Luck, or the greatest quarterback to come out since John Elway. So the generational label is not something that he created. I'm sure it's not even something that he wanted. But in this article during Athlon Sports, which I read earlier in the week, they said the hype is dead, that he's not going to be a generational quarterback. And that got thrown out there. Then Bleacher Report says that Trevor Lawrence is the most overpaid quarterback in the NFL, making $55 million a year. First of all, they're wrong, okay? The $55 million a year contract hasn't even begun. That doesn't start until 2026. It goes 2026 through 2030. Those are the 5 years. So, again, you don't expect most members of the national media when it comes to the Jaguars to actually do their homework. But when you put something out there and make such a loud statement, I think I am in a position where I am absolutely going to respond. It's too quick to say that because, again, he does not fit into that contract yet. You got to allow him to do what he's going to do this season. You want to make that comment in a year? Fine. But it's premature now because the contract hasn't started. The generational hype is a six-pack minimum conversation. It is. If I was to take your temperature, here would be what I believe most of you would say. You don't feel the same now that you did 4 years ago. All right. The confidence of the quote unquote generational player has waned a little bit over his 4 years. And, you can fill in all the excuses. Everything from 3 different coaches, no offensive line, awful play calling, no running game, an offensive line that's been slow in front. I mean, you could fill it all in, okay? But still, the generational hype has died. I still think this. It's premature. The light still could go on. There's still an opportunity. If we were to all of a sudden, throw out percentages, yes, they've dropped. They have. Because we've watched this thing over 4 years. But we're still talking about a 25-year-old man who absolutely has the physical ability to turn this thing around this year. And could fall into his prime. He's 25. I mean, this guy could play till he's 36, 38, 40 years of age. He could play 15, 18. He could. Quarterbacks can. The very best of them can. Look at some of the ageless guys who've walked away the last couple of years with Brady and both Mannings and Roethlisberger and Breeze and Rivers. Russell Wilson is now getting close. Matt Stafford is now getting close. I'm talking about all Super Bowl winning quarterbacks outside of Phillip Rivers. I don't know if I mentioned Drew Brees, but he should be in that category. It could still happen. So generational hype dead is one of those clickbait. And it didn't mean that much to me because I read it either on Monday or Tuesday and I wanted to get to it. Heck, I waited till a Friday. So but I'm just pointing out that this kind of stuff is being tossed around a little bit. I think the proper question becomes this for every single Jaguars fan. This is what it comes down to. And this is what you have to ask yourself. And it doesn't necessarily apply this year or next year or even, in the 2027 campaign. But the question now becomes, can Trevor Lawrence win a Super Bowl? Is Trevor Lawrence the guy that is going to be able to take this franchise not only to a Super Bowl, but win a Super Bowl? I would love to know your confidence level there compared to what it was when he was selected 4 years ago. I think the local media is totally fair when it comes to Trevor Lawrence. I'll speak for myself. I like him an awful lot personally. He's a really good guy. He doesn't come across as a prima donna. He doesn't come across as someone who looks down on others. I have openly asked the question that was created by this new administration, right? Do you love the game of football? The Jaguars are only bringing in players who love the game of football. Free agency and the draft. You look at Travis Hunter. I mean, he wears it on his sleeve, okay? That man loves the game of football. I think that's a fair question to Trevor Lawrence. Does he love the game of football? I thought his quotes years ago were a little bit misconstrued. When he said that, he loves the game, he's going to play hard, and I'm paraphrasing now, but, he loves the Lord. He loves other things. And I think meat and potato fans, they don't want to hear any of that. The only thing they want to hear about is football, practice, rep after rep after rep, getting better, no matter what it is. There are those who are that way, Maybe that's a little bit more of the old school mentality where you shouldn't be a good golfer. If you're a good golfer, that means you play too much. Family, fine. Pat your kids on the head, give your wife a peck on the cheek, and then get back to the damn practice field. Work on it, okay? Get better and better and better. Well, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. I mean, everyone has lives, but that's part of the common thought. I think that's a fair question, though. Does he love the game of football? I want to believe he does. I watch him work at the Miller Electric Center. He never takes plays off. When he's not repping, he's doing things by himself on the side or talking with a coach. I mean, he puts in the effort. I don't know about what he does outside of that particular time when, we're not observing. But it just amazes me, all these things that are actually out there. As a matter of fact, I saw today he's fifth for comeback player of the year, odds-wise. Aiden Hutchinson is number one. Christian McCaffrey, number two. McCarthy, 3, who didn't even play. And then Dak comes in at number 4. There you go. Trevor Lawrence, number 5. Odds right now. You can bet on it, I guess. I don't bet, but I'm sure you can find any of that stuff come back on your play there, Hard Rock.
Probably does. I'm trying to look at it right now. But, yeah, I'm sure you can bet this on Hard Rock.
Yeah. Right now is the time of year to get in with props or maybe wait throughout the month of August to see, if anyone gets nicked up, which you hope does not happen. But anyway, that is that. So this is my final show. When I get back, it's going to be absolutely nuts a week from Monday with the rookies already in camp and then the veterans reporting. And then, again, our first practice that we have accessibility. And you get an opportunity as well as Jaguar fans. All the details, just go to jaguars.com to get out there to the Miller Electric Center. If you haven't been to that facility, which is the best in all of sports, let me remind you, it's not like the old days where Coughlin wouldn't allow a tree within a mile of the stadium, right? And there was no shade. You get nonstop shade with these seats, plus fans that are running, concessions, restrooms, the whole nine. It's absolutely family-friendly, kid-friendly. So we'll see you out there beginning a week from Wednesday. That'll be at the Miller Electric Center. All right, tonight's comments brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. Rain's all over Jacksonville right now. Hope your eyes are good. If not, it's time for an appointment. Just make one at Shmunez Vision. Get the very latest. Update your contacts and glasses, and it's much more than that. Ask yourself, do you want 20/20 for the rest of your life? Maybe you're a candidate for laser eye surgery. Perhaps you're disgruntled. You're worried. You think something's going on with your eyes. You don't know what it is, and there's fear. That's understandable, but go to the best around, Shmunez Vision. We're talking about more than 30 years' worth of experience with Dr. Neil, Catherine Shmunez, also Dr. John Hunt, whether it's refractive surgery or whether it is cataract surgery, doesn't matter. Plenty of experience, and they're going to take you through the entire process and perform the surgery, okay, like they did on my right eye 9 years ago. Just go to Shmunez Vision online as well. You can go to Instagram, get all the testimonials from people like me bragging about Shmunez Vision. Coming up next, let's talk with Ship. Let's get into it with John Shipley on the Jaguars beat. A little bit later on, let's take our first look ahead at next week's British Open. We'll do that with my buddy Rick Shoemaker as well.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL.
I just came from the locker room, and one of the players told me this.
Home of the Jaguars, 1010XL.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Enjoy the warmth of a cozy fire. Now we're cooking in the great outdoors. That's what outdoor kitchens are for. You dream it, we build it. CSS. CSS.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe.
drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today. 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole family can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. It's a battle for the playoffs as your Sharks take on the San Antonio Gunslingers. This Saturday, July 12th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Kickoff at 7. Ask about the new 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card. All for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. The Sharks smell the playoffs in the water. It's a rock and roll night presented by Dick's Wings. Dress up as your favorite rock star for a chance to win a prize or join us on the field after the game for our free autograph session sponsored by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Ask about our new 4-pack, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card, all for only $100. Tickets start at just $15. To get yours, call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious?
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Need the right tools for the job without the full-time price tag? Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach is what you need when you need it. From heavy machinery for commercial projects to weekend projects at the house, we've got you covered. We've been serving jacks for 50 years. Visit Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach, just behind Aqua East Surf Shop, or call today. We also have event rentals too. Tucker Equipment Rentals. Tools you need without the price tag of purchasing.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You know, it's taken most of the summer, but I've gone through every season of The Sopranos. I'm 20 years later. I'm midway through the final year, and it's amazing what you forget. At least it has been for me. Let's bring in John Shipley. Of course, he covers the Jaguars beat with Jaguars on SI. How you doing, John?
Hey, doing good, my friend. How you doing?
Man, everything's good. You getting any time away now before camp in about, 10, 11 days?
Oh, yeah. No, I am doing my best to spend any time I can away out of, play and do fall up until training camp, because I know once it starts, it doesn't end. That train keeps on rolling all the way through the end of the year.
No doubt about it. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. You've been around now for a while. You saw Urban Meyer. You saw Doug Peterson. The early tenure here now with Baselli, Gladstone, and Cohen, including the practices that we were able to see during May and June. Does anything really stand out for you, John, that is different from some of these former regimes?
Yeah, I think one thing that has really been stressed to me, just from talking to people inside the building, talking to people on the roster, et cetera, is that this is a coaching staff and front office, et cetera, who isn't just putting their foot down and saying, this is how we're doing things. We're not going to adjust. You have to, it's our way or the highway, et cetera. It seems like there's been a lot more communication, a lot more, I don't know if compromise is the right word, but a lot more just the organization kind of letting players be who they are, which frankly has been an issue for the franchise for the last several years. I think even dating back pre-Urban Meyer, during the Tom Coughlin era, that was probably one of the biggest reasons that the franchise is, 2017 run got dismantled so quickly. It's just a butting of heads between the roster and the front office and coaching staff who just kind of wanted things to be done their way. So that's been the biggest impression I've seen so far, the biggest impression I think that you can take away without them playing a game. And like I said, that's not just me seeing things from the sidelines at practice. That's me talking to people inside the organization who are saying, things are definitely being done a different way in terms of how they're approaching the players, their relationships with them, all those things.
It's a solid point, and we've watched this evolve. And unfortunately, Jacksonville with the NFLPA and their survey, they get crushed for, categories like listening to players, and Doug Peterson ranked, horribly than everything that happened last year with Ryan Nielsen. But boy, I mean, old school's left the building, John. That's really a big part of this now. It used to be coach and player, and the coach is the boss, and you play hard or you're gone. But it almost feels like this new regime cares about the individual, cares about them as a family, cares about them as a person. And I've been covering this league for 34 years. I'll tell you, that was not the case when I started.
Oh, 100%. I think that one of the big things is it's just a new era of athlete. It's a new era of NFL. It's a new generation. You're now getting rookies who are coming in from the NIL era, transfer portal, et cetera. It's just a different generation of players and of people. And at the end of the day, obviously football, there's a lot of things that go into it. But building a successful franchise, a lot of it is building those relationships. Some of the best head coaches you see, Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, guys will run through the walls for them because, they firmly believe that they have their players' best interests at heart. And it's nothing against anybody who has been in Jacksonville in the past, while I cover them, et cetera. But it's also not a secret that the relationships between the players and some of the leaders of the franchise has not always been at the best, especially over, the last, I'd say, 6 to 7 years.
John Shipley, our guest, he covers the Jaguars beat with Jaguars on SI. Last year in Tampa Bay, Liam Cohen's offensive numbers were spectacular. Nearly 30 points a game. Top 4 in total offense. Top 4 in rushing offense. Top 4 in passing offense. The number 1 red zone offense in the NFL. I mean, everything he did turned to gold. Just your opinion, and obviously the elephant in the room is, can the offensive line do their job? But looking at the speed, skill position-wise, another year now under his belt for Trevor Lawrence, what do you foresee happening offensively here this season?
Yeah, I think just, again, anything can happen over the course of the season, but I think as long as they stay healthy, I am just so confident in Liam Cohen as a play caller and as a scheme guy, as an X and O's guy, that I think he will be able to have the offense finally press some of the easy buttons. And for example, last year, Tampa Bay was the best screen team in the entire NFL. A good chunk, I think nearly 1,000 yards of Baker Mayfield's passing production came from screens. So that's not anything to take away from Baker Mayfield. That's just saying Cohen was able to make things easy on him. A screenplay is the easiest thing a quarterback can do. Helps his production, helps the entire offense. I'd say Cohen might have the best screen scheme in the entire NFL. And then just his adaptability in the run game. One of the first things he said to the local beat after he got hired, we asked him, okay, what's your running scheme? He said he went into Tampa Bay wanting to run a zone scheme, but he quickly found out once pads came on that they blocked better, ran the ball better as a gap scheme team. So he completely did a 180 on, what he had came into there wanting to do. So I think just showing that adaptability and showing the willingness to, try new things that fit his personnel should give people some hope, should give them some optimism. I mean, this was a Tampa Bay offense that the year before, I know Dave Canales led it. He ended up getting a head coaching job, but they were just an okay offense the year before. Liam Cohen legitimately made them an elite offense with mostly the same pieces outside of Bucky Irving, and he turned them in from one of the worst rushing offenses in the NFL for years, even back to when Tom Brady was there, to arguably the NFL's best running game a year ago. So I think just looking at his track record, what he does to make things easier for the quarterback, for the running game, I think you should see a definite improvement from the offense.
I'm glad you said that, John, because to me, and I pointed out often, I thought that was the best part of his initial press conference, talking about how he changed the entire scheme along the offensive line. Coaches are stubborn to a fault, and they believe they have the perfect system and the players should run it. But I think we see that the making of a great coach is looking at your personnel. This is different personnel here than he had in Tampa Bay. He can't do the exact same stuff here that he did in Tampa Bay. Hopefully it's similar, but you have to find strengths with this football team. In my opinion, John, it's find a way to get the ball to Brown, Hunter, and Thomas. Those guys can score from anywhere on the football field.
No, 100%. And I had I had an article go up on the site today. I talked to Jimmy Smith in an interview just about his thoughts on BTJ, et cetera, and he pointed out to me that one of the big things that BTJ brings to the entire offense that should make the whole offense better is the fact that he is such a dangerous downfield threat that teams simply cannot play with one safety against them. And you add in Travis Hunter, you add in Deion McBrown, and the Jaguars should see a lot more two safety looks from opposing defenses this year, which should make things easier on the running game. He noted that, teams had to play two safeties against the Jaguars of the olden days because they had Jimmy, they had Keenan McCardell, and that let Fred Taylor really kind of feast on defenses because they weren't able to pack the box. So I think that's what, they're definitely hoping to see from that wide receiver group. If they can do enough to force defenses to have to kind of focus on them, that can open up the running game. And if you open up the running game, I think that just makes things exponentially easier on Trevor Lawrence.
All right, let's wrap with this, John. Typically in the NFL, you're starting 22 or even you're starting 24 if you go to three wide and a nickel defense on the other side. For the most part, it's set. There may be a battle for one or two jobs. But give me your opinion here with the offensive line. The running back rotation, I think, will take care of itself. But the defensive line, certainly, Ventrell Miller getting in the mix at linebacker, and no doubt the most competitive, position group is going to be within that secondary. How many starting jobs do you think are actually available when camp begins?
That's a tough one. I'd say probably only a handful, maybe 2 to 3. I think they still have to figure out who they want their two starting safeties to be. I think you can, probably presume that Eric Murray's obviously going to be one of them with how they paid him in the offseason. I think they still need to figure out, okay, when Travis Hunter isn't on defense, who's our third cornerback to go along with Tyson Campbell and Jordan Lewis? I'd say Buster Brown is probably the leader right now at the kind of offseason program that he had. I mean, you know just as well as I do, Rick. Every time a coach got asked about Buster Brown this offseason, they just completely sang his praises. He is somebody they love in that building right now. So I'd say the secondary does a couple spots, but who the edges are. Foye and Lloyd are going to start linebacker. Most likely Armstead and Hamilton are going to be the starters at defensive tackle. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of movement on that side of the ball, as opposed to just guys playing different roles and playing in a different scheme that, while it is a lot of the same faces from last year, it should still look like a radically different defense.
Yeah. A lot of attention is going to be on that offensive line. And again, I think it's hard to figure out who the 5 best are when they're not hitting. It just amazes me that those games are going to be very important. That work against Miami down there, those practices are going to be very important. Make sure you get everything from John Shipley on Twitter or X. He, of course, is the Jaguars beat writer on Jaguars on Always a lot of fun, John. Enjoy your last week or so before camp gets underway.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, and I'll see you here in a little bit, my friend.
No doubt. There he goes, John Shipley. Good stuff. Always a hardworking member of the Jaguars beat, and enjoy everything that he puts out there for us to read. Okay, tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at Alexander Law. All right, the Alexander Law Practice. And, I can't say this enough. If you have been injured, all right, personally injured, and it happened, in a car accident, this is your one stop. Give them a call. It's free, 400-6600, or log on to Alexander Law Practice online. Again, you may not know what is there for you. You may think, I'm screwed here. I'm home. I'm alone. My car's beat up. I can't afford to get it paid. You'll never come out of pocket at Alexander Law Practice. Plus, you're going to get individualized attention. And the best part of it is this. You're going to get an immediate call back. When you call them at 400-6600, they're going to get back to you. They're not going to wait 5 days, 7 days. No, they're going to get back to you and discuss everything that unfortunately has gone wrong. This especially applies to those who are injured because the other individual was a careless driver. Wasn't your fault, okay? And now you were injured. For all of the details, let's go to Alexander Law Practice online, or again, for a free review, go to 400-6600. That is Alexander Law Practice. All right, let's grab some of your response to that. Good stuff from John Shipley. I think that offensive line position is going to be the most talked about position group where there could be a change. We know the 5 who are penciled in. I'm not really worried about the running back situation because I think that's going to be something that takes care of itself. I almost described it as like 3 lines in hockey, right? Yes, I know there's a 4th line, there's a checking line, but they miss a lot of shifts. Doesn't matter if you start in the NHL. You're going to play for 45, 50 seconds, and you're going to go to the bench, and another line's going to come up. I kind of get the feeling that that's the way the running back core is going to be. I think he wants to use all 4 of these guys. And he's going to find out as we move throughout the course of the year what is working and what is not working, right? I'd like to see Mason Smith get really involved in that defensive tackle rotation. I still think Ventrell Miller is a good football player, right? I think Ventrell Miller has a chance here to be a starter. But Devin Lloyd's lost weight, and he's looked good against the run. So we'll see if that's even a battle. Or maybe that's already set. We don't know. And then, of course, the secondary, all sorts of things that could evolve there. So it's going to be a very competitive training camp. And that hasn't always been the case, right? A lot of years you show up, you know exactly who the starters are, and nothing changes, regardless of how good things are or perhaps how bad things are. All right, we got much more to do. Best way to join us if you want to comment. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Tom McManus straps on the helmet and joins Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl for the new Helmets and Heels. New attitude, new time. Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL. Tommy Mack makes his Helmets and Heels debut July 14th.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, wants to make your flight in and out of Jax a fun one. Stop by Vino Volo in the airport and enjoy 2 signature brackish cocktails. Vino Volo has amazing food and cocktails before your flight. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka and made right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Brackish Vodka for whatever your sport is. If your sport is flying, your vodka is Brackish, proud partner of the Jaguars.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Hey, Jacksonville, need a fence and ready to save? At Superior Fence and Rail, you'll lock in 5% off your fence project when you sign by the end of July. A limited time offer for savings and peace of mind this summer. Now accepting appointments for a free estimate. So act fast and get 5% off your entire fence project when you finalize by July 31st. Cannot be combined with other offers. New contracts only.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 11th, 1989, Bo Jackson starts the MLB All-Star Game with a leadoff home run and wins All-Star MVP.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash, and they're ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. And gold market prices are at a record high. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Vegas, 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 baby.
Vegas, baby. Helmets and Heels is back at Circa Resort and Casino with 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Here's the scoop. In Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week for quarterly prizes and a $1 million grand prize for the season winner. Then there's the legendary Circa Survivor. 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins a guaranteed $15 million. Must enter in Nevada, then play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for all the details.
Plus, sign up for either contest and score 50% off a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino. You can even join the ultimate football kickoff with Helmets and Heels in Vegas, August 21st and 22nd while you enter. Book your stay at Circa now and chase $21 million in guaranteed prizes. No rake. For full contest details, check out 1010XL.com/Vegas. Vegas, baby.
Get ready. The Jacksonville Rock Orchestra brings to life the magic of Fleetwood Mac. Like you've never heard it before. A 27-piece symphony fused with a full rock band, performing timeless hits like Rhiannon, Dreams, and You Make Loving Fun. One night only, July 11th at the historic Florida Theater. Get tickets today at floridatheater.com.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
If you're 35 to 75, you could get life insurance today. No medical exam needed. I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial. One call could protect your family for life. Call me today, 904-885-9566.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
They're going low in Scotland. The Genesis Scottish Open. Chris got her up. A 61 today. After a 68 yesterday. So 11 under. Again, this is a par 70 at the Renaissance Club. But, just about all the big players, all the heavy hitters taking advantage of Links Golf and the Scottish Open, of course, before next week's British Open. Let's bring in our golf analyst. Always a pleasure to talk. My computer just completely went down. You go down the other side over there? Okay, I'll just pull it up on my phone. Let's go to the other side here and pull up our good buddy Rick Shoemaker, our golf analyst, and of course he is with Cimarron as the owner and operator. Rick, how you been?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Look, we're right in the middle of summer, and things are fantastic. Hot weather. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah.
Those northers can keep that snow.
Yeah, I love it as well. It's always been an interesting way of looking at things. I remember doing it for years before the Players' Championship, even when the Players was before the Masters, and I guess it is now again in March, and of course it moved to May. But there's always been that philosophy and opinion about whether or not to play the week before a major. It feels like just about all of the heavy hitters, again, are already across the pond, and they're playing in the Scottish Open. What's your opinion with that theory?
I think when it comes to international travel, 100%, I think it's needed. I think your body has to adjust. You got to spend that. I would even consider 2 weeks over there just to get your body righted and mind righted. So internationally, check the box. I think it's the right thing to do.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. Yep.
And then the other components, just to each his own. Where is their game? What are they working on, and so forth when they're stateside? So I can see some guys playing if they haven't been playing a lot, or where their game is. But it's teach his own, independent.
Okay. Do you like links golf?
I think it's awesome. I've had a chance when my family lived over there to play. Did not play Royal Fort Rush, but played some courses in Scotland, and it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it is the gods of golf and luck, because that ball bounces and bounces and bounces. The skill component, I think, that comes into play is imagination.
Right.
And I think that's going to be a big part of it, right? Who has the imagination around the greens? And the Europeans flourish in that. And I think we'll see quite a few of those names up there that the average golf onlooker isn't going to know who they are.
Right. When you look at this, Rick, and you played there, but obviously you've watched a ton of events along the British Open, et cetera. What's really the major difference in your mind between, Oakmont last month in the United States Open and what we're going to see next week with the British Open?
Well, again, 100% imagination around the greens and everything, and even out in the fairways, but flighting the ball. I mean, look, you're trying to carry it and stop it quick at the U.S. Open, playing target golf. In the British Open, it's luck of the draw. I mean, you might be 260 out, hitting a 5-iron that's a bullet, and just rolling it onto the green. And those bounces, it's guesswork. So, and it's imagination to be able to pull off all those shots.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the younger guys, I still think that's the flaw in the next generation of golfers. They don't have the imagination.
Right.
And all these academies, all this equipment, all these computers do not teach them imagination.
Okay.
And I think that's the difference in the European guys.
What about the wind? We know that links courses are, obviously built right around the ocean, and there's plenty of courses here in the United States where that is the exact same thing. But it just feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that not only does the wind change on every hole, but with a swirling wind, you can actually see the direction of it change on one hole.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, that's where the caddy comes into play, and home course advantage will come into play, and maybe Rory has that a little bit, seeing his round today. maybe he'll shine a little bit. I think the guy to look out for, look, Aberg, he's been pushing on the door. I don't say knocking because I think he's been pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be very interesting to see what he does. He's having a good tournament this week. He's got the European experience, and it'll be interesting to see if he can withstand it through the pressure of the Open.
Through 2 rounds, it's apparent that the players right now are getting it done here at the Scottish Open. You mentioned Rory. He shot a 65 today, but I see 64s. Matt Fitzpatrick shot a 63. Harry Hall shot a 64. I don't know a lot about this young man. He's only 25 years of age, out of Oklahoma. Chris Gotterup shot a 61 today, Rick.
Yep, amazing. Look, he post 61. Holy crap, right?
Yeah.
And he's a win player. So, look, think about that, right? Again, those guys coming out of Oklahoma, Southwest, Texas, those guys can play in that wind. You got to learn that's where that shot comes from, the bullet and the Texas wedge and all of that. So, he's learned how to play that. That's that British Open golf they're going to play. So it'll be intriguing. We'll all have our Bloody Marys, right? We'll be 8 a.m., 9 a.m. in front of the TV having some Bloody Marys and watching some crazy golf.
No doubt about it. 2 great weeks to enjoy. The Scottish Open going on right now. Then, of course, next week it is the British Open, talking with Rick Shoemaker. He is our golf analyst, and he, of course, is with the Cimarron Golf Club, the wild one, right there on 210. All right, you gave us one a moment ago. Give us a couple of other guys to look for, in your opinion, at this year's British Open.
Look, I think the guy who has imagination, Scotty Scheffler. I mean, that's no surprise, but he has that imagination around the greens. And again, if he strikes the ball decently, which he always does, but those greens are big. But if he's striking it well and he can keep that putter going, he's going to be one to look out for. And there's a couple of British guys. I'm losing track of a couple of names right now in my head, but don't be surprised to see some outsiders. Fitzpatrick, I'm just telling you, he's always there. He's been up there recently, that crazy cross-handed chip that he does. I don't know how he does it, to be honest with you. But, he's always there. So, it's going to be interesting. I'm surprised to see not as many Americans up there right now. Usually the Scottish Open is a little bit more target golf.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised not to see as many names up there. I mean, I still think Justin Thomas has been on the verge, but he's way down there. I guess Morikawa didn't play this week. Interested to see what he can do around the greens. And again, you look at Shane Lowry. There's some names that are going to pop up, and but it's going to be weather driven. And I haven't looked at the weather report yet, but that weather will dictate a lot.
Yeah, outside of the leader, the youngster out of Oklahoma, you get all the way down to tied for 7th place, where you find Keith Mitchell, who shot 67 and shot a 66 yesterday. Man, they are really going low here at the Renaissance Club. All right, Rick, as we let you go, big weekend coming up around here. Give us the very latest. What's happening at the Cimarron Golf Club?
Well, believe it or not, it's great, and the golf course is in fantastic shape. The greens have healed nicely from aerification in June. We do it again in August. I know the golfers around here at times wonder what's going on at these golf courses, but 2 or 3 times a year, the golf course is aerified greens. There's some stretches of accepting that, but we're out. Believe it or not, people don't realize our agronomists are focused on what's going to happen for the winter and spring. So we're already focused on that. Some more projects getting ready for the fall and winter, and golf is great. People are loving it, having a great time out there, and we continue to hopefully bring the best value here in North Florida, and just want everybody to come out and experience what golf is about, having fun, enjoying your friends, and a great beer afterwards.
No doubt about it. Hope to get out there again a time or two before I really get into the grind of training camp in the Jacksonville Jaguars. But check them out. They are the wild one right there on Cimarron in the Cimarron Golf Club on 210. That is Road 210 or Route 210. Always a lot of fun, Rick. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There he goes, Rick Shoemaker, our guest. Is it Route or Route? You people around here call it Route, right? See, where I come from, it's Route.
Yeah, it's Route.
Yeah, it's
here in the South.
You take Route 2 and you go through Concord. You go by the, you go by the jail. Then you go by the hospital, and then bam, you're right down Route 2 and 12 minutes away from the city of Boston, Massachusetts. All right, great stuff there. Appreciate that from Rick Shoemaker. Of course, I won't be here next week for the British Open, but wanted to get a little bit of that in there. They're just destroying this golf course. My God. I mean, these scores are, you would think, again, they're playing at the John Deere Classic, not playing at the Genesis Scottish Open. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. Let's do that. 641-1010. If you'd like to join us, that is the best way on our text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on 1010XL Into the Night on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Tom Jackson.
This is Shannon Sharp.
I'm Mike McCarthy. You're listening to 1010XL.
1010XL.
1010XL. 92.5 FM.
Coming soon, Pine Royale, a fully illuminated synthetic par 3 course built for day or night play. Plus a driving range with TrackMan Tech for virtual courses and interactive games. Mini golf, restaurant, and bar all in one place. Whether you're a serious golfer or just here for good vibes and great food, Pine Royale brings fun nonstop. Smash a burger, a bucket of balls, and even a night round under the lights. Grab your clubs, your crew, and your short game. Pine Royale is coming soon off I-295. Learn more at pineroyale.cc.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family's secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here. Only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do. Stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole family can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. It's a battle for the playoffs as your Sharks take on the San Antonio Gunslingers. This Saturday, July 12th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Kickoff at 7. Ask about the new 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card. All for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. The Sharks smell the playoffs in the water. It's rock and roll night presented by Dick's Wings. Dress up as your favorite rock star for a chance to win a prize or join us on the field after the game for our free autograph session sponsored by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Ask about our new 4-pack, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 gift card, all for only $100. Tickets start at just $15. To get yours, call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Why not celebrate your anniversary with a stunning eternity band or a pair of diamond stud earrings? Buy now and get up to 40% off. Don't miss this annual event. Best prices of the year store-wide. And remember, Beard's Diamonds is your local jeweler with over 4 decades of delivering the best value, the best quality, and the best overall experience. With no commission salespeople, no corporate sales quotas, and no nonsense pricing. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Football season is almost here, so before it arrives, I'm going to get my home organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, anywhere that needs to be organized. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off during the month of July. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Matt and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra and Landslide, they begin in 30 minutes at the Florida Theater. 27-piece orchestra, and apparently they sound incredible. I'm going to be a little bit late for the show since I work till 8. But I'll see you out there tonight at the Florida Theater. Still tickets available if you're looking for something to do right here on a Friday night. My understanding is they are spectacular. So I'm looking forward to getting out there again. The Jacksonville Rock Orchestra. It's called Landslide, and they're going to play everything that is Fleetwood Mac. That's going to begin at 7:30 at the Florida Theater. And again, tickets still available. So I'll see you out there shortly after 8 o'clock. Looking forward to that. You see about this radio host in Kansas City?
No.
His name is Kevin Keitzman. And, you know, he was talking about Patrick Mahomes. Apparently, there was a picture of Patrick Mahomes with his wife and a bunch of folks having a good time out at the beach or whatever. And he called them fat. Okay?
Yeah, I've seen this now.
Okay. Now, listen.
I didn't know it was him, though.
I have no problem with anyone criticizing. I talked about weight gain last year with several Jaguar players. I've also looked at players, and Eric Armstead will come to mind. He had a terrible season. And I've said it time and again and time and again. But to call Patrick Mahomes an embarrassment, the guy's won Super Bowls. The guy's the best player overall right now in the NFL. And listen, as far as criticism is concerned, again, I'm fine. That's part of the job as being a talk host. But how can you call the best player in the NFL an embarrassment? Can't figure it out. Here's his quote. He's fat. He's an embarrassment. Stop the fast food. Do a sit-up. Do something. I don't understand it. You can't just run through your NFL career eating Taco Bell all the time and door-dashing fried chicken. You've got a $500 million contract. It's your job. He's done nothing but eat and drink this offseason, quote unquote. So there you have it. He didn't look that bad. He's got a little bit of a dad bod.
You want your quarterbacks to have a little pudding anyway.
Yeah.
Have a lot. You can take hits. And here's a tweet he had from July 8th. Here's a fair and accurate assessment of my commentary. I don't want Patrick Mahomes to become Big Ben, win big as a young player, and then just got big. I want him to lock in like Brady in his 30s. He must be the only person on the planet that has that worry. because I don't think anybody else has that worry.
No, he's going to win another Super Bowl. I don't think there's any question about it. He's just trying to be a contrarian. Again, for a lot of people, this is the quote-unquote slow time of year where you got to find something to discuss. And I'll admit, I enjoy this time of year more than any. Yeah, you have to work harder to find something, but this is just going down the wrong road. I mean, what is there not to love about Mahomes in Kansas City? And I know the greatest of the greats get pounded. LeBron gets pounded all the time. Alex Rodriguez got pounded all the time. I mean, Tom Brady got pounded on all the time. But I think you need to think before you speak, or think before, in this case, you're right. I mean, this is really an embarrassment by this guy to say this about, what is he, a 3-time Super Bowl champ? Patrick Mahomes, he won 2 or 3 at this point.
At least 3.
Yeah. And he's lost a couple. We know that. But anyway, I thought that was pretty bizarre. I was looking around today because Patrick Mahomes has now joined Joe Burrow with this constant conversation. It's a matter of when, not if, that an 18-game schedule is going to appear. And Mahomes went on and on and on today talking about rest, talking about buys. So you need more of that. You're going to go 18 weeks. You're going to go 20 weeks if you bring in the 2 buys. It will set up perfectly if you start around Labor Day and then you wrap up the season with the Super Bowl on a Sunday, and then most of America gets the Monday off because it's President's Day. But we'll see what the NFL is going to do here. I don't think this is as simple as many believe. And, certainly on the heels of Lloyd Howell, who's under fire right now, is the executive director of the National Football League Players Association, his collusion, and then keeping it secret from the people that he does represent, siding with Roger Goodell, siding with the owners. This still continues to be, in my opinion, somewhat of a buried story. And I think the reason why I don't think most fans get caught up in this type of stuff. Again, I try to make a really big deal before the NFL's owners' meetings. And regardless of what I say, I get great reaction from listeners. But, man, I tried my best. I tried to sell it every possible way about the worry of changing seeding, going to a straight seeding. It took college football 1 year. They said, forget about automatic conference berths and buys. Okay, the berths still apply, but the buys do not. We're going straight seeding. A lot of people out there thought that when Detroit put that on the table, that the NFL was going to say, you know what, it's time. Forget the 8 divisional winners hosting a playoff game. Actually, I should say 6, because you have 1 bye in the AFC. You get 1 bye in the NFC. And I was really worried about that. I was worried about it for you, for Jag fans. Okay, Jacksonville's not going to be 14-3. Jacksonville's not going to be 13-4. If Jacksonville wins the division this year, they're going to be 9-8. If Jacksonville wins the division this year, they're going to be 10-7. And under the new seeded straight seeding, you'd be on the road. Now you're guaranteed a home playoff game with the 8 divisional winners still being the current way that things are being looked at. I got nothing. People are like, nah, not interested. So I do think when you talk about legal stuff, whether it's a brand new collective bargaining agreement, whether it's not, or whether or not to add a just absurd 4th and 15 after you score instead of an onside kick. You just put together a 12-play, 75-yard drive. The defense was on the field for 6.5 minutes, and now the NFL is actually fooling around with the talk of, no, there will be no kickoff. Put that tired defense back on the field. If the offense completes a 4th and 15, they stay on the field with a chance to score again? I mean, that's arena football crap. That's Harlem Globetrotters crap. That's a Savannah Bananas crap. Are you trying to tell me my NFL is going to do that? And again, you don't get any reaction. So I get it. Your meat and potatoes, rule changes, things like that, for the most part, don't necessarily apply. But, I mean, open collusion with your union boss? I mean, this is Jimmy Hoffa stuff. Are you kidding? I mean, how can he collude? Like that? How could he keep this information away from the players that he represents, the players that he works for? You notice on the other side, Rob Manfred saying we need a salary cap. The players are like, don't even attempt to do that. The Major League Baseball Players Union is so tough. I tell you what Major League Baseball needs. They need a salary floor. Okay? Before you start talking about a salary cap, you need a salary floor. You need to start getting these lower market teams to spend more money. If not, sell the freaking franchise. Look at Pittsburgh. Sell it. So you need a floor first before you cap it. But the union's not going to go for it. There's a real chance that we could head towards work stoppage in Major League Baseball in the future. That's not going to happen in the NFL. But the players need to step up here. If I was the players and the players' reps, all 32 teams, I'd be demanding the firing of Lloyd Howell after what he did. But again, it's mouse chirping, man. There's just very little talk about it. 3291. We did a little bit of this last night. Rick, can you explain links golf for some of us that don't watch golf to understand the difference? It's really night and day difference, okay, in every aspect of the game. For the most part, no matter where golf is in the United States, it's beautiful, right? I mean, it's just incredible. You start like in Hawaii, you go through the West Coast swing, you go to Torrey Pines, you go to Pebble, you go to Arizona, and then you bring the southern swing, through our state, through the players. And everywhere you go, it's just phenomenal, right? Not a blade of grass out of play. This is old school golf. Golf was invented in Scotland. All of these courses are on the ocean. They face ridiculous elements, including the complete lack of sun. Wind is the biggest issue, okay? You don't have to be a bomber to play on a links course. You don't have to hit it high in the air and pound it 300 plus. Links golf courses are hard. You can hit a bullet, as Rick Shoemaker described. You can be like me. I'm a low ball driver. My ball rolls, 30, 40 yards or so. You watch some of these golfers hit it 10 feet off the ground. That ball will roll 100 yards on these courses. Undulating terrain, right? Sandy soil. The rough is not consistent the way it was at Oakmont, right? You miss a fairway in Oakmont, you're screwed. You gotta take a small iron and punch it right back onto the fairway. Some of the missed fairways here, you're gonna have to deal with natural hazards, but there may not be any rough. And then you may go to the next hole, and let's say you fly off the tee right on consecutive holes. You may, on that very next hole, deal with rough that you've never seen before with the weeds and what have you. So it's just a totally different style of golf. Enormous pot bunkers, not the true natural bunkers that you see. These are bunkers that, depending on the camera angle, you may not even be able to see the golfer, okay? Only the ball come out of these, just massive pot bunkers. A lot of folks go over there and play, and they swear on it. I've never done the Scotland deal or Ireland deal. I think I will at some point in my life, but, I'm kind of a tropical guy if I'm going to leave the country. I'd rather be tropical. Give me those drinks with an umbrella in them, Dylan. Give me those pina coladas. Give me those bushwhackers.
A little bit of rum in the pina colada.
Give me those drunken sailors. And I don't want to move around all that much. I like what I'm going to do beginning tomorrow. with my vacation. I love this going to resorts and tropical. I've been asked quite a few times. I've never done it. Go to Ireland, man. It's insane. Go to Scotland. I'm like, nah, I'm good. There's plenty of golf around here. Playing golf in the rain, playing golf in the wind, it's not my idea of a good time.
I remember when the players were here, I think it was 2021, and they couldn't even wear hats. It was so windy. It was on a Saturday. They finished the players on a Monday. I remember I played golf on that day, and I remember it was so bad. I was playing right beside an airport, so the wind was just howling. I lined up 10 o'clock on a drive, and it just moved my ball all the way over back to 12 o'clock. I'm right in the middle of the fairway. I'm like, I have no idea how these golfers do it, and they just, it's just normal to them.
Yeah.
I mean, for amateurs like us, it's impossible to enjoy playing golf because if you don't practice every day, I mean, good luck to you.
No. I just looked up the actual definition. I did that without, but it says it's a golf course characterized by sandy soil, coastal location, all right, undulating terrain, often near sand dunes. It's the oldest style of a golf course, design originating in Scotland. Remember Ted Knight talks about it? Golf. They don't include the L. It was invented in Scotland. He's talking to Spalding about it, I think. I think maybe talking to Lacey Underalls about it. The late Ted Knight. The late Lacey Underalls, who died, I think, a year or two ago. I know she did. But the definition also says firm, fast conditions and the unique challenges posed by wind and uneven lies. It is a totally different style of golf. So I hope you enjoy that. Some of the stuff I'm not going to read the day before I sneak away. I'm just not going to do it. I'll give you one more for the break. 29-22 Ballou. I'm concerned about the center position. I keep hearing about how good Hainsey was in the New Orleans game. I pulled up the highlights for that game, watched Hainsey the center position, and man, it looks like he struggled. I'm thinking that if he has a good game, I don't know what his bad game is. It's a very fair question, the 29-22. They overpaid for a non-starter, and they're asking him to be a starter. I enjoyed my conversation and meeting Robert Hainsey. I think what you have to do right now is put that on Liam Cohen. He is the man he brought with him. Liam Cohen watched everything a year ago. We've been told that this is going to be a collaboration between Cohen, Baselli, and Gladstone. I have to think Baselli got deep into the tape. I have to think that Baselli got deep into the film and asked these questions. I know Tony Baselli incredibly well. The offensive line around here has been mush forever. So they brought him in. He'll be under the microscope. Not everyone loves what the Jaguars did. I think it was ESPN this week. I know it was ESPN this week that ranked their offseason moves as a C. That's one of many. Yes, that offensive line as a whole. I give him credit for bringing in 6 new bodies. I do. You may not love the names, and that's okay. But they are attempting to change their biggest problem, right? What needs to change more than anything is for Trevor Lawrence to up his play. Well, you need a really good offensive line in order for that to happen. And we'll see what ends up taking place. But, he's going to get that opportunity. No question about it. All right, let's get back to some of your questions. Getting a lot of them that are rolling in at 641-1010. If you'd like to ask a question tonight, right here on our text line, which is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
What are you doing here?
Radio.
1010XL.
And that's how you spell it.
1010XL. 1010XL.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
At Tucker Equipment Rental in Neptune Beach, you just don't rent quality machines, you rent quality customer service. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave. Tucker Equipment Rental has been supplying Jacksonville with equipment and event rental for over 50 years.
From commercial and homeowner projects, we've got what you need: lifts, dirt equipment, and landscape equipment.
And don't forget about event rentals, from festivals to weddings to backyard barbecues.
Local, knowledgeable, and always ready to help.
Tucker Equipment Rentals.
You need it, we've got it, come see us.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 11th, 1989, Bo Jackson starts the MLB All-Star Game with a leadoff home run and wins All-Star MVP.
Frank Franzi here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville's full of memorable sports moments. Remember Tiger Woods' 60-foot putt on the iconic 17th? Gary Coate called it better than most. Better than most. Well, Coil Fencing is better than most. They're better than all. Coil has been that for nearly 100 years. So if you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coil & Sons today. That's at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE jacks.com.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local woman-owned solar company. Did you hear? JEA is raising rates again. With summer right around the corner, those power bills are only going to go up. But with solar, you can take control of energy costs and say goodbye to rising rates. At Clay Solar, we make switching easy and affordable. Stop paying more for power and own it. Visit claysolar.com to schedule a consultation today.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T here, and I know that getting into an accident is stressful, but getting the proper care doesn't have to be. That's why I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. Even if you're at fault, your insurance covers you. And remember, you have the right to choose your own doctor. Even a minor accident can cause whiplash for years if it goes untreated. So don't wait. Call the auto accident experts at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Your recovery starts today.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
What
What NFL stadium has been used the longest by an NFL team?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Green Bay's Lambeau Field has been used by the Packers since 1957, a span of over 60 years.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hope they go old school tonight. Back in the Bob Welch days. Him and Peter Green, right? This got to be early 70s. And Fleetwood Mac was on the verge of crumbling. Sorry, Bob. Things went bad for Bob Welch. Remember Sentimental Lady and Ebony Eyes? But he got up against it and ended up blowing his head off in Nashville. But this is really good, and they were done. I read the Mick Fleetwood book, and also Stevie Nicks' book. Keep this running a little bit. I want him to get into the You Got Me Hypnotized here. Florida Theater at 7:30. That show's going to start in about 10 minutes. I'll be there just after 8. You better play this. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like early 70s station wagon rock. But they were ready to fold the band, and you know, Mick Fleetwood and Christine McVie and John McVie. That's the name, Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac from those last names. But Peter Green left and Bob Welch left, and they were done. They wanted to hire Lindsey Buckingham as the guitarist, and he said, "Listen, we're a package deal. She's my girlfriend, and she sings, and her name is Stevie Nicks." And there you go. What do we have now? Got to be the greatest hybrid band of all time. Combination of Across the Pond and, of course, Los Angeles. So, I tell you, Dylan, I read a book this week. I'm looking for new authors. And I read a book called The Charmer. And I never read the sleeve. You know, I'm going to go for it. I kind of want to be surprised. I'm the same way with movies. I don't like to know about the movie. Of course, when I grab a book, I'm going to have some understanding of what it is that I'm going to get after. But this book was written so well by Jack Olson that I'm going to go look for other stuff. I thought it was a fiction for like 350 pages until he made a particular point, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this really a true story? So I, Googled it and found out that it was a true story. But I mean, some of the amazement that he chronicled had me believing that it was actually a fiction.
That's wild. Most books I read are biographies. I can't get into fiction for some reason. Like last night, Jim Lampley, who was HBO for a while. Yep. He just came out with a book. He was on with Rogan. That's how I found out about it. And he was telling so many stories about Tyson and boxing and Ali and about how boxing was in the 70s and 80s. And I was like, I'm going to read this book. So I got it, and it's supposed to be coming in on Amazon tomorrow or Sunday. Yep. And boxing is one of the sports I wish I lived through in its heyday. Mm-hmm. It is just not like that no more. And boxing is a lot like football. Boxing is best played, I guess, boxed by, the desperate people, people that don't have options. If you have a lot of money and you come from wealth, you're not gonna go into boxing. No. And it's just not like that. I remember Mayweather coming up a little bit with him and Pacquiao, but he didn't fight that much when I was coming up. But yeah, boxing was one of those sports that I always love listening to when it's story time. Listening to old Ali stories and Mike Tyson and all the other guys. There's so many heavyweights.
There's no
back
doubt.
then.
Kevin Rooney doesn't do it a lot anymore, so I don't talk with him. And of course, we lost the great Burt Sugar. But, boxing movies, I think, are the best sports movies. And boxing books are great. And I was like you forever. I never read fiction. Well, my hobbies are obviously sports. I've read a tremendous amount of biographies or true, just true stories that weren't biographies. And then, when I went to Florida State with a criminology degree, I've read hundreds on serial killers and the mob, but I felt like I read them all. Honestly, I really did. So then I started getting into fiction and, the guy up the street here in Fernandina, Grisham, unbelievable, and Patterson and C.J. Box and John Sanford and, the list is Don Winslow. Just read all of their stuff. But now I'm thrilled to know that this guy, Jack Olson, is actually a true crime. Like Ann Rule. I read all her stuff. She's no longer with us. Ann Rule actually was part of a rape prevention center with Ted Bundy.
Wow.
Back in the day. It's a phenomenal book if you get an opportunity to read it. 1681 Ballou. Trevor, this is the fifth year. He's a grad student in the NFL. All right. That's why I have less than 20% faith in him being successful. He's had plenty of opportunities and excuses given. He has to prove it before I believe it again. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. And that, I said that, and some people would disagree with me. I mean, the opinion has waned a little bit. We started the program talking about how Athlon said that the generational hype on Trevor Lawrence is dead. I disagree with that comment. There's still a heartbeat. There still really is a chance. He's only 25. But I'm not going to try to talk you out of your opinion right now. You need to see it with your own set of eyes. 78-68, Ballou, why does Trevor need so many pieces around him to be successful? That's an outstanding question, okay? But I can't think of a lot of quarterbacks who have been incredibly successful without solid offensive position groups. Maybe Joe Burrow and the offensive line in Cincinnati comes to mind. Tom Brady didn't have a running game, but he involved that whole passing game with running backs. I made this point recently. You have to develop your players in this league, but developing them is only part of the equation. What you need is elite football players. Go with Prisco's top 100. It's been out for about a month now. Pete Prisco, our friend, okay? 2 members of the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, I think, are in the top 15, okay? 2 unbelievable wide receivers, the best running back in the game. If you got to win it, you need average players to become above average, and you need above average players to become elite. Right now, there's one guy on this roster that you can look at and say he could turn to elite this year, and that's Brian Thomas Jr. I'm not going to start Travis Huntering you before he's even been on the field. He's a rookie. Of course, there's a chance. I think the belief with this organization is that Trayvon Walker is going to get much better. Has Josh Hines-Allen, has he hit his max? He was overweight a year ago. Talked about it. Okay? Does he still have a chance to get better? You paid Tyson Campbell, not this regime, but the former regime. You paid Tyson Campbell to be a Pro Bowl corner. He's the highest paid corner who's never been to a Pro Bowl. He was very average last year. He was hurt. Is he going to get and become an elite player? right? Trevor Lawrence, same deal. Trevor Lawrence, and we talk about, if 32 quarterbacks, where's Trevor right now? Dylan, we see him anywhere. I've seen him as high as 9. I've seen him, as low as maybe 17, 18, somewhere in that category, right? And 9 is rare. Can he get into the top 10 consistently? Can he get into the top 5 consistently? That's where he has to go. So the answer to your question, I think most Super Bowl winning quarterbacks are surrounded by very good football players and elite football players. And you just haven't had that around here at all. 61-21, Ballou, Trevor is overpaid. Please tell us what he has done to get paid. Have a baby, never have a fourth quarter comeback. I'll wait. Well, you know what? You can wait all you want. I think I was the one and the only one at this radio station who said, don't give him the extension. I don't need to live to go back to that anymore. It's over. It happened. And now I want you to be happy. The 61-21. And all your buddies to be happy. So I'm not sticking around here to be a contrarian and pat myself on the back and say, see, I told you they never should have given him the contract extension. Nah, no, hell no. I want to see you smile. I want to see you guzzle beers. I want to see you backslap. I want to see you kiss babies. That's what I'm about. But I am also the guy who said, don't pay him. Let him earn it. And most of you crushed me. Most of you out there just absolutely crushed me. Am I wrong? No, you did it. So I'm getting attacked from both sides now, which is like the perfect way for me to go out on a vacation. I love this. I love when you hear two different sides. Oh, Ballou's kissing Trevor's ass. I mean, Ballou's like, the guy's earned it. He's this, he's that. The other side is people remember me saying, don't give him the money. It's perfect for me. Love it. Thank you guys so much for that, and gals. Greatest, it's the greatest text I've read in quite some time. Yeah. I don't want to answer that question. Hey, Rick, do you think Daniel Thomas will make the cut? And if he doesn't, how will we owe him? Dylan, we had this conversation, Tuesday night, maybe?
Yeah, it was 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
3.
I think there's a real question there. Now, he's very cost affordable. You look at his tag this year, I think it's $2 million. I talked about the other night. Where the heck are you? I think it's $2.5 million for Daniel. All right, here it is. Daniel Thomas, 2.275. Very cost affordable. $2,275,000 a year. And you can recoup $1.8 million. Here's what it comes down to. They have too many safeties, okay? You're still looking for your starter, not named Derek Murray. Who is that going to be? I would love for it to be the rookie Caleb Branshaw. I hope he comes in and he's so good that he gets on the field immediately. Been bragging about Antonio Johnson for years. The light just hasn't gone on. Maybe this new defensive scheme will work. Darnell Savage, an overpaid veteran who was injured a year ago. Is he still on it? And then you get to Dewey. Dewey's he's a cult-like figure around here, playing on the final year of his contract. And you have Ray Lane and the military academy and the Naval Academy. And, a guy that was a gunner. They need a gunner. They lost Tim Jones. The other gunner was Daniel Thomas. But Daniel Thomas is such a liability if asked to come in and play safety. He can't play. He's a special teams only guy. So we don't often get into it, but do you pay a special teams only guy $2.275 million? Or do you get special team guys on rookie contracts, late round picks, which cost the league minimum? or undrafted picks that cost the league minimum. Okay, what do you end up paying him as a rookie? 400 and something thousand, 500,000. That's a big drop off from $2.275 million. It's a great question, and it's one that, again, we had a conversation about the other night, and it's going to be another one of those storylines. Can you afford to keep an extra safety who does not play defensively at the expense of one less wide receiver, at the expense of one less corner, at the expense of one less tight end? Do you keep an extra offensive lineman? Do you keep an extra defensive lineman? There's going to be some good players cut. There's going to be some recognizable players cut. Let's take a break. Our final one of the night. Guys who have been around here for a while. There's no guarantee that Tyler Lacey's going to make the team. There's no guarantee that Yasir Abdullah is going to make the team. There's no guarantee that Cole Van Lanen is going to make the team. There's no guarantee that Luke Fortner is going to make the team. There's no guarantee that Javon Foster is going to make the team. They're going to say goodbye to some players who've been around here for the last couple of years. We'll see. Much more to do. Take it tonight until 8 o'clock.
Quenching your thirst for midday sports talk.
Something hot.
XL Prime Time.
I hear we're getting a new cappuccino machine.
Josie, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy.
Afternoons 2 to 4.
On 1010XL.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
When your plumbing backs up, your septic's acting shady, or your AC quits on a 95-degree day, who are you going to call? Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Don't take just our word for it. Here's what real customers are saying about their experience with our company.
Megan in the office was so helpful and polite. Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $250,000 in cash and prizes available, with payouts up to 20 places. Of course, there's great prizes for lady anglers, and bring along your junior anglers as well. Register today at kingfishtournament.com. Even if you're not on the water, spectators will enjoy fun exhibits, food, kids' activities, and a fireworks display. At the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament.
Put the ball in the net with 60 minutes of soccer talk. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburg, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Ballou. Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out The Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At The Y, summer camps every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. E.T. here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to, and it should be yours too. Online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Celebrate National Carpet Cleaning Month with Zero Res. Hicken here. Check this out. $45 per room of carpet clean. Take 20% off your air duct services. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of the savings.
Zero Res.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, they went low today. My goodness, or early this morning, I should say, over here for those of you who are getting up this week and next week to enjoy links golf, the Genesis Open in Scotland. I think I'm saying the name right. I've never heard of him. Chris Gotterup. He's a rookie out of Oklahoma. He shot a 61. I mean, that's just amazing. And this is a par 7. He's got a 2-stroke lead over Harry Hall. So you may be thinking, what is this, the old Greater Milwaukee Open or something? The big guns aren't there. Wrong. Oh, they're there. Matt Fitzpatrick at 8 under. Jacksonville Beach resident Ludwig Oberg at -8. Rory McIlroy, after a 68 yesterday, 65 today. He's got it at -7 with Nick Taylor. Then you find your next American, Keith Mitchell. And Matty Schmidt actually is not from the United States. So Keith Mitchell at -7. A couple of other notables, Sepp Straka at 7 under. Jake Knapp, 7 under. Schaff Lee at -6. Scotty Scheffler, a 67 on Thursday, a 68 today. He's at 5 under par. Now, just giving you a couple of notables. Baseball fans, you're in for a treat tonight if you want to watch Paul Skeens and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't bet, but I would play the under on this. I don't see a figure. Maybe you can dig it up for us. Paul Skeens, 4-7 with a 1.94 earned run average. His last 7 starts, he's allowed 7 runs in 7 quality starts. And he doesn't have a win to show for it. In his last 13 starts, he has an earned run average of 1.78, and he has 1 win. They had absolutely 0 run support. Tonight they'll be in Minnesota taking on the Twins. So we'll see what ends up happening there. This could be a really, really interesting deal to check out. I think he's going to win the Cy Young, and he may end up winning like 7 or 8 games as a starting pitcher. It's a statistic that obviously I still look at, but it's been replaced by the whip. It's been replaced by, the earned run average has always been a huge part of this. I've always really looked at first pitch strikes. To me, that's pretty important as well. But anyway, he's going tonight at 8:10. He will be in Minnesota.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
I was going to say you look like Andy Reid in that shirt, but you've lost so much weight. I I'm trying to figure out who you look like now, but what the heck's going on with that?
It's just something we bought in the Caribbean when we were on the cruise. So I thought I'd break it out for a Friday, the day before vacation.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's not bad. These are really nice, and they were very cheap. We got this in the Dominican Republic for like $15.
So you and I are bowing out. My vacation starts in 2 minutes. Yours starts in 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm actually, when I leave the show tonight, I'm going to pick Heidi and Forrest up at the airport. And they're flying back from New England. And then we're on the road tomorrow morning at about 9 a.m. as the Forrest World Tour continues this summer before he goes back to school.
Yeah, all right, good. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do the same and head out to Colorado in the morning and then hit a few other states, including Montana. That should be a blast. What's going on tonight? What's part of your Friday getaway?
Yeah, Greg Allman of Fox Sports. He's covered the NFL for years. We're going to have Greg on to recap the Jaguar offseason, look ahead to Jaguar training camp. I saw ESPN not very high on the Jaguars offseason, right? Gave them a C, I think, for the offseason. So it's really my last show before training camp. We'll be back, 2 days before training camp begins. So we'll kind of review the offseason, give our thoughts on everything that transpired, and obviously talk a little SEC football as media days is next week.
It is next week, no doubt about it. And they moved back to Atlanta, right?
It's in Atlanta, yep.
Yeah, that's where it should be. Those old days in Hoover were cluttered, I think would be the best way to describe
Hoover's fun, but probably outgrew Hoover.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, have a blast tonight. Have a blast in your vacation.
Yeah, you have a good vacation, too. I'll see you on the 21st.
All right, there he goes. Hacker Nation. He's coming up next. Yeah, that's going to do it for me for a week. Okay? For those who are happy to see me go, well, I'll be back. And for those who are happy for me to return, I got this for you. I'm going to settle in. I'm going to strap in. I'm not going to take any time off until after the Super Bowl. It's going to be 6 months of football. And I'm going to be here for it. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Thank you to Rick Shoemaker. Golf analyst from Cimarron, the golf club. And, of course, John Shipley covers the Jaguars beat on SI. That'll do it. I'm Rick Ballou. Talk with you a week from Monday. Hacker Nation's coming up right now.